Hey everybody, it's Casey Williams. Nissan just announced they're going to drop the Aria EV crossover. I really like that vehicle. I thought it was really stylish. I like the interior, I just like the way it was designed. It just felt very cool. But not to get too upset about it, because Nissan's still going to give us a vehicle with all that EV style, but with a gasoline engine. And it's the vehicle we have this week, the 2025 Nissan Murano Platinum Edition. Let's go have a look at it. Ever since the Murano came out over 20 years ago, it has always had this kind of concept car futuristic look to it. And it's a design that's always worked for the midsize crossover. And this one looks like an EV. I think it's really cool. And just look at the front, it's even hard to find like where the headlamps. They're right here, the LEDs blended into this panel. You've got driving lamps down below. But it really does have kind of an electric vehicle look to it. Come around the side, again, you get that super future modern kind of techno look to it. The 21-inch black wheels. I even like this crease right here. How it's just, the wheel wells are just kind of formed into the fender. I think he's done some very nice stuff to it. I really like the arching roof line, and I really like this how it's resolved in the back as well, in the nice deep shoulders in the back. But it really looks muscular, looks futuristic, looks really crisp. Come around the back, again, looks like it just rolled off of an auto show turntable somewhere. I love the tail lamps with the smoked lenses that come around the back, the blacked out Murano logo. We'll find it eventually. Power hatch. It is fit operated as well, but I always find it a little bit fidgety, so it's just easier to press the button. But inside, again, it's only a 2-row vehicle, so there's a lot of space behind that second row. Nice tie downs here and there. You get the seats down, pull the lever, easy. Really deep storage compartment, easy to get bicycles in, get all your luggage in, camping gear, whatever you want. Well, the Platinum Edition is the luxury version of the Murano, and that really starts to show up in the back seats. I like these seats. I like this diamond stitch pattern. I like the brown and the black, the contrasting. I know it's really cool. And again, just kind of gives a little bit of that concept car feel to it. Side doors, I like this panel here with the striations on it. I think it's really cool, the black. And of course, sunshades too. You've got heated seats for both cushions, 3 different zones. You've got USBs back here. So pretty much everything you need. Also has the dual sunroof. So it feels light and airy back here. But the thing you really notice too is, this is just a 2-row crossover. And a nice thing I like about 2-row crossovers, sometimes you try to get that third row in, you gotta make a lot of compromises. The third row ends up being really tight, and then you gotta move the middle row up a little bit to get a little bit of legroom in the back. So the 2 rows, there's a lot of legroom here. This seat's where I had it, driving in. Plenty of space. I'd sit back here, ride cross country, no problem. Nice big armrest as well, cup holders. So just a really comfortable place and a very expensive filling place as well. Well, having spent quite a few miles in the discontinued Aria, the Murano felt very, very familiar to me. I really like the layout. Again, it feels very much like an electric vehicle in the way it looks and the way it feels. I like the dashboard a lot. I like kind of this translucent kind of bluish material here. Again, just gives a little bit of interest. It's not wood, it's not metal, but it just gives a little bit of something extra, which I think is cool. Down below, again, taking something from the Aria, this panel looks like wood, feels like wood, but it's plastic. And what I really like is they've integrated all the climate controls into it. So it's basically little touch pads embedded into the wood grain. Looks very nice. Dual zone automatic climate control. Touchscreen, very intuitive, very easy to use. This does have navigation, wireless connections for your phone, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and wireless charging here in the console. And there's USBs here too if you want to charge with the wires. Nice flat screen instrument cluster, head-up display, and it's got the 2-spoke steering wheel that, again, Nissan uses in a lot of its other EVs. But it just feels nice. It's just clear layout, clear to see all the gauges, and I think works really well. This also has a heated steering wheel. The seats, again, more of the diamond stitching here in the front. These are heated, ventilated, and massaging in the front. Again, so some nice luxury features. Has the Bose audio system in it. Lots of storage space, deep cup holders. I also like the gear selector here in the console as well. Just push button, very easy to find. Drive mode selectors here. The button to turn off the auto stop start right here, easy to find it, and the camera button here too. So everything's feels very simple, but everything you need is here and easy to access. Of course, this has a full array of crash avoidance systems. It has automatic emergency braking, it's got lane keep assist, it's got blind spot warning, rear cross path detection. This also has lane tracing steering, so you can't take your hands off, but it pretty much does everything else when it's in adaptive cruise mode. It'll steer itself through the corners and curves out on the highway, but you do have to keep your hands on the wheel. It's really only when you drive the Murano that you realize it's not an Aria and it's not electric, but it is pretty smooth. So this has a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, delivers 241 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. So that's plenty of power for a vehicle this size. This has a 9-speed automatic transmission, so you always get the engine the right rev range once it finally finds its gear. It does have auto stop start to help with gas mileage a little bit, and gas mileage is pretty good, 21 miles per gallon in the city, 27 highway. So it feels larger than a lot of the mid-sized crossovers I've been in. It feels wide, and honestly it does feel more like an electric vehicle in the width of it, because usually they are wide to fit the batteries in underneath. But outside of that, I like the way it drives. The one thing I would say don't absolutely love, this has a 4-wheel independent suspension system, so it does handle well, it does ride nice, it does handle rough pavement well, rides very comfortably on the highway. But the thing I notice about some of these, kind of mainstream mid-sized crossovers with 21-inch wheels, that's a lot for the chassis to handle, and sometimes the wheels get just a little bit chattery when you go over rough pavement. But outside of that, I think it rides really nice. It's pretty quiet on the road, handles well. It feels a little big to me, so when I try to parallel park it, try to get into tighter parking spots, you're aware that it's not a small vehicle, but that does translate into a pretty roomy cabin for 4 or 5 people on long drives. I am definitely going to miss the Nissan Ariya. It was a vehicle I liked a lot, but honestly, it was a little expensive and it wasn't selling very well. And on top of that, Nissan now has the Leaf that's been completely redesigned and looks like a little bit of a smaller Ariya anyway, with a much better and much more affordable price. But we don't have to give up all that Ariya style, as we've shown with the 2025 Nissan Murano we have this week. It looks like an EV, drives smooth, even with the gasoline engine, gets pretty decent gas mileage, and has actually been a very nice, very luxurious ride this week. So let's talk about price. Well, the Murano starts right at $40,000. This one all in, with the Platinum package and all the luxury you've seen, $51,415. Well, next week, we'll have another fun car, and until then, storm forward.